Joining us today for the fourth time, we got a full episode here of Elimination Chamber and breaking down Topps Universe WWE. Four-time guest, Babyface Breaks from ASB. Nick, how you doing?
Doing great, guys. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And yes, this is a very loaded pod. I know loaded for you as well on the ASB side. So, of course, we're going to break it all down here. We got Topps Universe joining us officially on Friday, even though there are some breakers already or some shows already over on whatnot. We are recording this in the middle of the week. We're recording this on Wednesday. Hopefully, this episode is out no later than Friday morning at the earliest this episode will be out. So you guys can tune into all the insights here as far as of Topps Universe. We're going to be breaking everything down from what you can expect, the checklist, who we're watching, who we're buying, who we're maybe not realistically buying here just based on what we're seeing. But before we get into all of that, we are going to preview Elimination Chamber. Now, I know we're kind of talking about it off air here officially. We got Elimination Chamber in Chicago. 4 matches here. How are we overall feeling with the card itself? Again, that was only 4 matches. Nick, you're actually going to be there in person. So I'll kind of throw the ball over to you first. You excited for it? You looking forward to anything in particular? How are you feeling heading into Chamber, the last POE before WrestleMania?
I'm super excited for it. What I'm most excited for is to go to like the Superstore, see if they actually have Universe available. That's the thing I'm most excited for. But the match card is cool. It's a normal like 4 big card match. The Chamber, I know there's a couple injuries that hurt the superstars that are going in there, but I mean, the winner goes to Mania, so that's what I'm most excited for both Chamber matches.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, I would say it still hasn't really hit yet. That it kind of feels like WrestleMania season a little bit. It's still kind of trending, kind of low. But I'm not gonna lie. I think today, like when we started, as I'm watching like a little bit of like Universe Breaks, it's kind of getting my peak a little bit of interest. I don't know if it's just because we're into the cards and all that stuff, but yeah. Other than that, I think it's a Paul Levesque special, 4 matches only. So I mean, there's a lot of superstars in there, a lot of up and coming superstars as well. So, yeah, I think it'd be a pretty solid card, hopefully.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like watching a couple of the universe breaks that we've seen so far kind of gets excitement up for the card just a little bit because there are some interesting names where if they win, maybe it translates to these early sales of universe or maybe some other previous sets that these superstars are in. As far as and I feel like comparing it to last year, I think we were so spoiled last year knowing that it was John Cena's retirement tour and knowing that he was in the chamber. I kind of put some high stakes onto that as well. And if you had some big names and you had Punk, you had Drew, you had Seth Rollins, you had Logan Paul. Very different from this year around, even the women's side as well. Very, very different. But let's get into it. We'll start off with the single matches here first. We do got Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. This here is for the women's intercontinental title. Now, I know we talked about it, you and I, Dad. We talked about it on the last part, how this build to this AJ and Becky has felt so long, yet felt so awkward. And the same time, some of the promos just haven't really been hitting. It's been really, really weird. And we had, I think AJ coming back, not doing anything, WrestlePalooza going away, then coming back again, going away for after War Games. That's kind of hurt it a little bit. And even though this duration has been very long, I thought, in my opinion, this should have been a WrestleMania match, but I get it. It's Chicago. You're trying to move those tickets. So even though this has been a very weird build, a very weird build to this overall match itself, I'm so very excited for it. Again, AJ Lee's first singles match in over 10 plus years. Curious how she's going to look in the ring because she can't really rely on anybody else. And I think Becky brought up like a very interesting point. Like back in that era, like she was really the only one. Now in this, it's not an argument in my opinion that this era of women's wrestling is a lot better in ring wise and compared to the one she had evolved 10 years ago. Maybe Caitlyn is the only name that I can really think of that was like maybe up to par. Naomi wasn't really doing much as well. So it is going to be very interesting to see how it translates with Becky Lynch. But for me, I got Becky Lynch retaining. I don't see her dropping the title to AJ here specifically. I think if they do a round 2, it will be at Mania, kind of have that little bit of a higher ground, higher payoff, I would say. But yeah, this one here, I do got Becky Lynch here retaining this one here. I'll throw it to you, over to you, Babyface Breaks. How are you feeling about the build? I don't know what your thoughts on it here. It's going to be very interesting, this pod, because usually it's only me and Robbie bouncing off each other. Now, to get a third-party perspective here, I'll throw it over to you first. What's your thoughts on the build and who you got taking this one?
Yeah, so I agree on the build. It's been extremely awkward. Thank God Becky had an awesome promo this past Raw. That really saved something and brought some fire back into it. But I'm going to disagree with you. I think they have other plans, and I think they're going to put the belt on AJ just so we get a proper build into Mania and give like a younger talent like a Maxine Dupree or even an up-and-coming Natty a chance. So I think it's going to be a triple threat or a fatal four-way at Mania. AJ walks into Mania with the belt, and then she'll take another hiatus. I think she drops it there.
Ooh, nice. See, that's what we like to have.
I like it. Usually, Rob and I probably would have agreed. I'm like, I probably wouldn't have crossed my head.
Yeah, so I think it being in Chicago, they're going to give her that pop. And Becky's going to take a little time off. They're going to get a little build going, a proper build. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I honestly think that AJ wins like 85-90%.
Ooh,
so
strong.
Yeah.
See, I'm complete opposite. I think because they are in Chicago, I think for that reason, probably Becky Lynch is probably going to walk away, and I think there's going to be some good old fashioned foolery going on, as I like to call it. And I think that's just an easy way for them to get like cheap heat on Becky.
Fair.
So, yeah, I don't think this would be the last time we see him. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be surprised if they run it back at Mania. But yeah, I think at this case, I think it's going to be Becky, and hopefully, I mean, if they do continue this build to Mania, I hope it's not wonky like the way it is, where it's like every other week they're there, or every other 2 weeks they're there. Hopefully, it's something more definitive down the line. And so, for but yeah, I'm going to go with Becky Lynch retaining on this one.
Yeah, that's my only hope. Like, if Becky somehow does retain this, like, hopefully, if they do decide to do a round 2, that there's like AJ's there is pretty consistent. I know her schedule is like up and crazy right now, but I kind of have CM Punk complaining about part timers being part of the championship. They have his own wife doing it. I can't have that. So I just can't. I can't have that.
I get it.
But speaking of CM Punk here, we got CM Punk here versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship here. This one, I love Finn. Love that he's the opportunity. He's gone the last couple of chances here on Raw, but I think this one is pretty predictable. If I was a betting man, not financial advice, I think CM Punk is the heavy favorite here. Chicago, you're not going to have them spoil this CM Punk and Roman Reigns main event that you already announced for night 2. But this one here, dude, got CM Punk retaining it here and remaining here, the Chicago hometown hero.
Yeah, I agree totally with that one for sure. There's nothing else they could do. So
yeah, I was like, there's no other.
Yeah, this one here, I was like, yeah, there's not really much here to speak up on that one.
I think this is more for like just the Finn to finally. I think I talked about it. I think a couple weeks ago. It's finally just to get Finn away from the Judgment Day, and probably this will cause ruffles. And I know there's like rumors of him fighting Dom for the IC title at WrestleMania. So I don't know, this may lead into that, but yeah, I think it's a no-brainer on CM Punk retaining here. So. But
this is going to be a classic. Judgment Day comes in, Dom goes to hit CM Punk, hits Finn. I mean, I already saw it 8 times already, so that's 100% what's going to happen.
The recycled booking that we've seen for the Judgment Day for the last, like, what?
3-4 years?
God, holy, it's been so long now.
Yeah, I could see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they've been teasing this Judgment Day implosion. I saw a funny post today over on Twitter today. It was like they're teasing the Judgment Day implosion, and I think the YouTube channel for WWE posted that, and it was like a video that was like 2 years ago. So the fact that this group is somehow still a group is just absolutely insane. They've gone through different changes, of course, but yeah, the fact that this is still a group at this point is kind of insane. Heading on here to the women's Elimination Chamber match here. This pretty stacked compared to the men's is pretty stacked here, but this one here, talent-wise, is pretty intriguing here. We got Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea Ripley versus Alexa Bliss versus Asuka versus Kiana James versus Raquel Rodriguez. Of course, winner here will officially go face off to Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. I don't think it's been announced as far as of either night 1 or night 2. I do think Liv and Stephanie get night 1, if I'm not mistaken. I would think they would, but time will tell with that. This one here, pretty wide open. I feel like I think there's a lot of different ways that you can go. I know me and Robert were joking last week because I didn't know they were going to do these final matches here on Monday Night Raw. I thought they're going to do them on Friday. So I was like thinking Charlotte Flair was going to win this damn thing, but she's not even the match anymore. So that kind of throws out my prediction here. So I guess I'm gonna open up the floor first. So maybe you guys can persuade me here. So I'll throw it over to you first, Rob. Who you got taking here the women's elimination chamber?
Man, this one honestly, it came down to just two women. I'm torn between Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley, honestly. I don't see Alexa, unfortunately, neither for Asuka, Kiana, no. Raquel, I had a hard time going against too, because I was like, man, that'd been pretty cool for like Raquel to go against Jade. But I don't see that either, unfortunately. But so now I'm just like stuck in between. I'm like, well, do they run back again, Tiffany and Jade, when their matches weren't so popular and hot back in the day, where obviously Tiffany got squashed actually by Jade at Saturday Night's Main Event. And then with Rhea, I'm just thinking like, I think I've talked about this like numerous of times. Like Jade I still feel like she is still looking for like that it match. I feel like she hasn't had it yet. And I think if you put her against somebody who's a heavy favorite, fan favorite, and stuff like that in Rhea, I think hopefully maybe that would get her, kind of a little push and stuff like that. But I'm also like, well, I feel like they're going a little bit towards another maybe like Rhea EO match at WrestleMania, but I don't know, maybe they'll get there at a different time. But so if I'm starting between the two, I'm just gonna go on a limb and say it's gonna be Rhea Ripley on this one.
I think I could agree with that, honestly. My prediction is that Rhea and Io are going to lose the belts. And I think it's as simple as you need a name versus a name just to sell tickets. They're having a hard time selling tickets. We saw the Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. I feel like it's got to be Rhea. That also, if they do lose the belts, that opens up Io to go somewhere else for a mid-tier belt, USA, something like that. But yeah, I think it has to be Rhea. I think we're all over the Tiffy. I don't think Tiffy is a draw like Rhea could be and could sell tickets. Also, you could put Tiffy anywhere and she'll shine. So I think Rhea deserves it for sure. She could show out in the chamber. A lot of talent, but I mean, Asuka, Kiana James, nah. just got to go with Rhea here.
Yeah, now that you mentioned it, thinking about like
this one here,
like with EO too, like with them, I think for sure they need to drop the belts. I think that's the first thing. And
yeah, there's no point for them to have those belts.
I think honestly, it's probably going to eventually be to Nia and Lash, and I think Nia and Lash are probably going to head to head with the Bellas at WrestleMania. And I think that's where it's going to go, unfortunately. But I feel like how you mentioned like EO can like surface a mid card. I know they're not the same brands, but they've been teasing like Julia and EO for a while now. So I think if they let them two go at WrestleMania,
they pulled that match off of SmackDown too for no reason.
Yeah.
That has to be it. It actually has to be it. So,
but
yeah, I was like, man, like freaking Triple H is going to give us this match on a SmackDown with a bunch of in between commercials. I was like, damn, like I can't believe they're doing that. And then really quickly they switched it to Rhea Ripley for no explanation whatsoever. I thought maybe it was like an EO injury or something like that, but then EO wrestled on Monday night, so it wasn't that. It must not been anything that serious. So I honestly do think that's where they could go if you want to, somewhat elevate this women's U.S. mid card title. I do think the talent is a lot involved in the tag team right now. Obviously, Rhea and Io. So I think you do kind of find a way to kind of split that up, and I think this is a perfect way to do that. Yeah, this one here, same boat. I was kind of being torn between Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton. I'm in the boat here where I don't want to see Tiffy and Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Already saw it already before and wasn't really a big fan of it. And I do think like Tiffy, the return has been nice, but I think it's missing something. I've always been in the camp that she needs to go back to being a heel. Like I get the whole it's Tiffy time thing. I get all that, but I think that heel turn needs to happen already. Maybe that can bring something back for her eventually. But yeah, this one here do got Rhea Ripley taking it. I would love to see Alexa Bliss and Jade Cargill eventually go at it for the title. That size difference is probably freaking insane. Seeing them head to head or face to face will probably be freaking insane. So I thought that would be kind of cool, like a little David's Goliath type thing. But don't think they'll do that for WrestleMania, especially as you mentioned, Nick. Them struggling to move tickets. Don't really think Alexa and Jade Cargill is getting people excited for WrestleMania. But yeah, this one here, dude got Rhea Ripley taking this one and heading off to WrestleMania to face Jade Cargill, which I do think that will be a very, very interesting matchup, as we all spoke about here. Now to head off to the final Elimination Chamber match here, we got the men's here. We got Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes versus Javon Evans versus Trick Williams and his Lemon Pepper Steppers. And we got Jay Uso, who I don't even think is supposed to be in the freaking match. I think from right, it's supposed to be Bronson Reed, but who the so I can't wait for the ultimate run it back. And so Nick, when you're there in attendance, man, I better see you eating when he runs it back.
I'm all out of yeets right now.
Climb up onto the pod.
Yeah, I'm all out of yeets. He looked so confused winning that match. It was awesome. He had no idea where he was. So I agree with you. I don't think that was supposed to happen, but there you go. Put it on the Yeet Man.
I didn't even honestly. I'm gonna be truthful. I didn't even know Bronson got hurt. Like I was so I was tired on Monday, and I was pretty bored on it about Raw. I fell asleep like during the match, and I woke up and Jey Uso won. I was like, oh, okay, that figures. And then like later on, they're talking about it, and then Michael Cole talked about Bronson getting a ring. I was like, what the fuck, he got hurt? So then I had to go and find it on Twitter. So I was like, God damn, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that whole faction right now is absolutely cursed. Like there's no saving grace to that faction right now. They had so much potential, I guess, if you want to call it that, and it's just, unless Logan Paul and Austin Theory become tag team champions at Mania, maybe that's the saving grace. But I don't, even that doesn't excite me. There's nothing saving that group whatsoever. Yeah, I felt so bad for everybody.
You're not excited for Grayson Waller to unveil the mask? Is that
like at that point, do they just abandon the mask thing? Like,
I mean, they should have done that when they chose Grayson Waller to put on a mask. Yeah, so.
I feel like at this point, like they don't even know who. Like I feel like they're like, all right, let's just have a masked man get involved somehow, and we'll find somebody to pick to whoever is in there. But I think right now it's like what's the freaking point? Like there's nothing you can do. There's no more masked man. That crate's not going to save. Oh, we didn't even talk about the crate. We'll talk about the crate too. What's going to be in the crate? we'll talk about who's going to be in the crate. This men's one here. A lot of exciting names in here. Javon Evans, I think, was a surprising one for me. I think I didn't even have him winning. Originally I thought it was going to be Gunther when he was involved in that match. Was going to find a way to pull it off here. Trick Williams, even though I don't think he's going to win, I think will be one of the rising stars that come out of it, which I think we're kind of already seeing it already, but kind of translate to his card market. His stuff has been kind of moving a little bit, but I think bigger crowd, bigger PLE, Chicago, that reaction is going to be absolutely insane. He's been getting insane reactions already. So I think Chicago is going to translate pretty well for him. Do you have Cody Raheem Rhodes taking this one here and go to the obvious Cody and Drew? Do you go that route again? This one here, I'm going to go on a curveball. I'm actually going to pick Randy Orton to win this one. I think you're going to have Randy Orton win this. If it's maybe, I don't want to say turning on Cody, but maybe taking advantage of that. But I do think in the end, they're going to find a way to get Cody involved and Jacob Fatu. I think at WrestleMania, it's probably going to be like a multi-man fatal four-way match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. But in this one here, I don't think you can go. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can, but I don't know if you want to give Cody. I know Cody's been getting some mixed reactions recently. So do you do that in a hostile crowd in Chicago? It's creative. That's stupid to do that. Who knows? But yeah, this one here, I do got Randy Orton taking this one here and going off to headline WrestleMania, if it's going to be by himself or if it'll be somehow, some way, a multi-man match. But who you got here, Babyface? Who you got taking this one?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you totally. I think it's Orton here with Cody somehow getting his way into the match. Fatal four-way, I don't know what they're going to do with Fatu yet. They could put him anywhere, which is, it's a blessing and a curse for some of these guys. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see Randy Orton do it one more time. I'm just over the Cody and Drew stuff. I mean, like everybody else is, unless he goes full Raheem mode, then let's go Randy for this one.
Yeah. I think the whole Cody and Drew rivalry, it's been way overplayed. I think it's been going on like almost half a year already. I think dating back to the summer with Saturday Night's Main Event in that era. I was leaning Randy Orton, but I'm thinking like, I don't know. I'm not too sure yet. So I'm going to go on a bold prediction, and I'm giving it to LA Knight. I think they're going to
LA Knight finally.
I think he's finally going to do it. I think I don't know. I never think of him ever feuding with Drew off the top of my head, honestly. I think for God's sakes, the poor man has been feuding with the Vision and the Bloodline for like 2 years now. It seems like, and I think it's finally. I think with him and Drew, I think that'd be. I just imagining the promos to WrestleMania,
Oh god,
and they're
so
both
good.
so good on the mic, and I'm just like that's some good television. I feel like too. I think that'll peak a little bit more freshness. You're like, okay, right, we're seeing the LA Knight push a little bit. I don't think if it comes down to it, I don't know if he'll win down there against Drew, but I mean, even at that, like at least he's somewhere back in that main title picture or something. I think a lot of the fans have been complaining about online. And I think it's just something fresh, something different. So yeah, I'm gonna go on a bold one. I'm gonna say LA Knight on this one.
I love it. I actually love it.
I like it. I like it. If I wouldn't be mad about it either.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about
really
it, but now I want it.
Yeah, I was like, you kind of sold me on that one. Damn.
Yeah.
I like it. I was like, man, I just like I love Cody. Like I've always been, even dating back to 40, part of that Cody crybaby stuff. But man, like I just can't. Yeah, I just can't sit through another Mania with. Drew
I just don't
Cody
think they
again.
can
Like,
do.
I just can't.
If Cody somehow does win, I don't see it being just one-on-one. There has to be something else that goes on, kind of like the way they did last year with the whole Bianca Rhea thing. Like, there's just no way. Like, there is no way. They have to mix in somebody. Like at that point, like they'd have to mix in like an Orton and then like Jacob Fatu or something like that. Like, there's just no way. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but if they do, I don't know. That'd be some foolishness. There'd be uproar on the internet.
Yeah, and Triple H will tell us like, "Oh, this is the build," and like everybody's excited now, and it's a new era of WrestleMania.
New era, yeah,
a new era.
Yeah, the 5th new era since he's taking over.
So yeah, that's Elimination Chamber. We got the crate. Do you want to make any predictions on the crate? Who's in the crate, or what's in the crate? Is it another freaking? What did they do with Survivor Series like years ago? That freaking stupid turkey, whatever it was.
The gobbledygooker?
And then Danhausen. I saw Danhausen was the betting favorite. Maybe he's the one placing all the curses on the Vision potentially.
That would be, dude. If they somehow like
that's big brain right there. Yeah.
If they were to somehow like convert that into that'd be fucking hilarious. Honestly, I'd be all in on that.
I hear people are saying that it's a Hall of Fame induction, but I just think it's a WWE 2K ad. That's all it could be.
That's what I'm feeling. It's like like some kind of like, I don't know, some statue of something from 2K or something. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, something like that, or a Hall of Fame induction. But I don't think somebody's actually. It's going to be bad. I'll tell you that much. It's going to be real bad. So.
Yeah, I was like, that's why I hate when they do this stupid stuff like this, where they have it going back between both shows and putting so much emphasis on it. Like, you're really doing this a month before WrestleMania, your last PLE. Like, you're really doing this stupid stuff. Granted, maybe it's something cool. I don't know. Obviously, we'll find out on Saturday. But like you're really gonna be like, you're trying to move tickets with a damn crate. Like, you just can't put out like a good card and a good build and good storytelling to sell tickets and move tickets. Yet we're relying on a mysterious crate. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with it's a countdown to WrestleMania clock, like just some kind of like stupid clock, and it's like they open it and it's like, all right, we're at the chamber now. The countdown to WrestleMania begins. So I'm gonna go with that.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so
maybe
bad.
Whatever it is. Like, I honestly, it's kind of crazy to say. I think the only saving grace is Danhausen like being in there doing his like crazy little curse pose or doing something. I don't know. Like, I think that is literally going to be the saving grace, and I think he'll get a good reaction. I don't know if he's from the Chicago area, but I know he has like all the close connections to Punk and all that. So who knows? But yeah, that's Elimination Chamber. That's the crate. We'll find out who was right here, and we'll have to come back here on the pod and talk about how awesome that crate was and how game changing new era this crate is, and break it all down here.
You know what? Something just came to my head that I want to put out there. It could possibly be an ad for like a Wrestle Crate, a WWE Wrestle Crate. You know, the subscription box type thing.
Subscription models, yeah.
Yeah, something sellable
like that. Yeah,
something sellable for sure. Danhausen would be sick. I just don't think enough people would know about Danhausen.
I think the in-person couch would be like, who the fuck is this like little guy with wearing a vampire robe and doing a curse pose or where the hell that he does.
If you're paying $500 to get into that place, you don't know who Danhausen is. So,
I was like, I'm pretty sure we'll get a text from our dad like, who is that guy in the crate? I'm like, well, where do I begin?
Let me see. How much time you got? Oh man. But yeah, it'll make for some interesting POE talk.
That'll
crowd's gonna be absolutely
That'll
insane.
get the sickles talking too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll get the AEW sickles all a little bit riled up here. Like, you didn't do anything over here. What do you think you're gonna do over here? They'll get them all. I can't wait for the post with Punk and Danhausen backstage Triple H. That'll get the I'll get the crowd moving a little bit. Instead of doing the point, they're gonna do the little pose to both all three of them.
Or a run-in with him and R-Truth, because I think wasn't R-Truth already at the crate too?
Yeah, something like that
on an episode.
Yeah, he was doing something with the crate on SmackDown or something like that. And then I think that same episode that's when they had Gargano on top of it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's enough crate talk. We'll talk about it here next week and see how awesome that crate was and how game changing that was here. But let's head off into Universe. We finally got Universe after months and months of delay. And we can kind of see it here in this checklist here. But Topps Universe is officially hitting stores on Friday, February 27th. Breaks again, like we talked about, already hitting other platforms like Whatnot. Official breaks on Fanatics Live will be officially open up on Friday. But before we get into the checklist, who we're buying, who we're watching, Babyface, I know you got some exciting announcements as far as what you're bringing to Fanatics Live with breaks with ASB. So I'll let you plug in your things here. I know you got some really exciting stuff here. So tell everybody what you're bringing to Fanatics Live with ASB with Topps Universe.
Cool. So on Wednesday, I believe it's March 4th, I'm going to be doing a full case of blasters. So 40 blasters, 240 packs. It's going to be priced slightly lower than a hobby case just because we don't know what's going to go in there. But as you're watching this, the spots are live. So I'm sure we'll have a link somewhere where you could just go click, grab your wrestler. It's not going to be random like I used to do. It's just going to be a pick your wrestler, full case. And then the biggest news I have is Saturday, March 7th, I'll be doing a collab stream with Alan Owens, which is he's a huge WWE personality. We're doing a full case break at Grand Slam Collectibles in Long Island. It's going to be cool. We're going to have some Fanatics people there filming and a couple of the personalities and giveaways and stuff like that. So we're really pumped about that. Also, the store is available for that. It's going to be a full hobby case. So whoever you want to go grab, just the links will be somewhere and just go grab your wrestler. And if you want to bundle somebody or any deals you want, just message me on Instagram and we'll work something out.
Exciting stuff. Yeah, guys, if you guys are listening or wherever you're listening, if you're watching visually on YouTube or if you're on Spotify or Apple, all the links are going to be down in the description down below, along with Babyface Breaks personal Instagram. All of it's going to be down below, along with the in-show stream links. So if you want to quickly go to those stream links, you can quickly click on those and it'll take you to the show. And of course, like he just mentioned here, it is going to be a pick your wrestler. So find who you're looking for, buy the spot, or of course, like we just mentioned here, feel free to shoot him a message here and you'll bundle up some good stuff there. So yeah, very, very exciting stuff here. I'm really excited to see how that Allen stream's going to go. I know he's one of the bigger personalities when it comes to live streaming and wrestling content. So I think that's going to be good for both wrestling cards, your brand, ASB as well. I think it's going to be very, very exciting stuff. So I'm very, very excited to see how that all comes to play. So definitely going to be tuning into that. Again, that's going to be on March 7th. Again, links are going to be all down there in the description down below. But let's get into the nitty gritty of this set here. We got a 300 card base set. Hobby boxes here are going to have 2 autos and 1 relic. I know everybody was kind of up in a frenzy when Topps put out that tweet here, 2 autos or relic. It is confirmed, 2 autographs and a relic. You're going to have 12 cards per pack, 10 cards per pack. We do got blasters here. That it's going to be 6 cards, 6 packs per box with yard guaranteed, 1 numbered card and 2 exclusive Galaxy parallels. Your base cards here are going to have a variety of base cards here. I'm going to read off here all the base cards and parallels. This is going to be all new to us here, so we're going to be learning as we go in hand. Stuff like that. I know some images have already surfaced online, but we're going to be learning this here as we go. Base cards here, we got the base standard base cards. Then we got the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. I believe these are the cards that have the little circle with the logo, if I'm not mistaken, for based off on what I've seen. So those are going to be your base cards. Your base card parallels, again, we don't know what these look like. It's going to be a learn and go type situation. You got a flare ring, red, white, and blue stars, purple glass numbered at $3.99, blue pulse out of $175, green electric out of $125, gold stone out of $99, blast out of $50. orange wrap out of 25, red magma out of 10. And then, of course, you have your foil fractors out of 1 of 1. Very university, very, if you guys are familiar with Topps Baseball Cosmic Chrome, it's very much that esque without the chrome. So, going to be very interesting to see about that. Inserts here. We got Ringleader, Star Portal, International Impact, Dazzling Debuts, Forever Fractions, Rage, Namestakes, Foreign Objects. And then, of course, the parallels for those are going to be Green Electric, Goldstone, Orange Wrap, Red Magma, and Foil Fractors. These here, from my understanding, are going to be the case hits. We have the WWE Then, Now, Forever Together, and the Mask. Those are going to be all of your case hits. Autographs here, quite a bit. Again, 2 autographs of relics, so it'll be a very autograph and relic based set. We got your universe autograph, which is just going to be your standard base autographs. You have your legends autograph, next level autographs. You're celebrating Cena, Rock, and Triple H are making their way back into the set as well, like we've seen with the other sets that we've had Topps release. Then we have some new ones here. Superstar Rivalry, Superstar Relic Signatures, Worldwide Relic Autographs, Tag Team Relics, which I think are going to be the stars of this set. And then we do got the title mark relics, and then your normal relics here. We got Universe relics, Triple Superstar relic, your WWE Authentics, and Ringside relics. Now, I know that was a mouthful here. I know Babyface Breaks, you kind of seen these a little more in hand. Of course, you work directly here with this product. First in glance, the base set, as far as of how it's been announced here so far, from what you've seen so far, what are your thoughts here before we get into the nitty and gritty of the checklist? What are your thoughts here on the overall design to the products, parallels from what you've seen, reading off all those crazy parallels? What are your overall thoughts here on this set configuration?
One word is big. I mean, this set is massive, and I think all of us fans like that. We're coming off a Bape set, which had 36 cards or something like that in there. And I think this is like a full, fun, exciting rip. My one downside to the checklist and the base cards are these names that aren't signed with WWE. We'll get more into that, I'm sure. But just from like surface level, what I've been seeing, I think the cards are cool. They really, really are nice. People are saying that in person that they look way better, and that's usually the case with a lot of these Topps cards. I'm just excited to hold them and be able to rip through them and actually learn them myself, since we are still learning them. I'm not sure if blasters and hobbies are going to be different, but as you said, I think those tag teams and anything relic is going to be the star of the show here. So I'm just super excited to hold them, see like the quality control on them, all of that.
Yeah, for sure, Rob. I know you were watching some breaks over earlier on Whatnot, of course, and I've been sending you screenshots and been blowing up your phone the last for 2 days here, showing you screens. Look what just hit eBay. Look what just hit the eBay. Look what's on this. Look what's on that. Early impressions here before we get into the nitty gritty of the checklist as far as who's in there, who's not in there. Early impressions of the set. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit previous episodes here, but of course, it's being our official Topps Universe pod. Any final thoughts here on Topps Universe as we finally are going to be having this product in hand this Friday?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Actually, just a couple minutes ago, I got the shipping notification for my order. I was only able to snag a blaster, unfortunately, but it says it should be here by tomorrow via FedEx. So, yeah, I'm super excited to see that, because I'm the same way. From what I've seen, from like the few breaks that I've seen, that I've caught, it looks very shiny from what I can see. There's a lot of sparkles, and it kind of makes flies into the whole universe thing kind of stuff. But yeah, I think one of the bigger complaints that we've seen online is that it's a little outdated, because I think this was supposed to come out like a long time ago. They've been working on this, if I'm not mistaken, since like WrestleMania 41. So a lot of the names on here are no longer with the company and stuff like that. So that is a little hard to kind of get by. And then also just the base checklist, the base autos up front is kind of a little bit underwhelming. Like there's like announcers, there's GMs and stuff like that. So kind of like a lot of the bigger names are in their own sets, like John Cena, Triple H, The Rock, or they're in the relic side, which we don't know the odds yet, so we don't know how hard those are going to hit. I think we'll probably see a little bit more coming Friday once we actually start seeing more breaks and hobbies and stuff like that. So that's something I'm definitely going to keep an eye on as I try to buy spots here and there. But overall, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, it's finally here. It's finally got something new to rip. I think we've all maybe a little bit tired of Cactus Jack and Finest and Bape and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think it's exciting to finally get something fresh out there. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I think the chrome fatigue is officially there. I think we're kind of, I think, at least from my perspective, I think we're a little bit over the chrome cards. I know the hobby, respects chrome cards a little bit more. But this is the first time that Universe is hitting any type of license with Topps here. So I'm very, very excited to see how it translates, especially to something as I don't want to say smaller anymore. I feel like this hobby is slowly growing, but something as niche as wrestling. Very interesting to see how it plays out here. And yeah, reading off all the parallels, it's to me brings back vibes to Panini Revolution, where they had like the cubic, the astro, the groove. Kind of brings back a vibe to those type of parallels. So I'm pretty sure we'll be playing like a little comparison to both of those sets as far as of appeal, how they look. But yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. But now getting into the nitty gritty of the overall checklist as far as the names I got both mentioned here, you can tell very much that this set is very outdated. I believe they were signing this set during WrestleMania 41, which is going to be almost a year to this point. Of course, I think it had 3 pushbacks at this point. So you can very much tell that it's very dated. As far as from what I saw, feel free to chime in if I miss any names. These were a lot of the older names here that are no longer in the company that are expected to be in the set. We got Rob's PC here, so I know he's excited for this one. We got Dakota Kai, we got Katana Chance, we got Carlito, Scarlett, Shayna Baszler, Karrion Kross, Braun Strowman, Wesley, Rich Holland, Jakara Jackson, Shotzi, Cora Jade, Tommaso Ciampa, not too much outdated, but officially no longer with the company, and Gigi Dolan. And those were some of the key names that I saw as far as of the checklist here. I don't know if I missed anybody. I know those are the big ones here that I saw that were kind of noteworthy here. I still think, even though they're a little bit outdated, I still think there are some names in here that can move a little bit. I know Cora Jade, now Elena Black with now TNA Wrestling. I know she's still a popular name, a pretty popular name with collectors. I know Babyface Break. We have a well-known guy who collects Cora Jade, so I know he's pretty excited to see her in the checklist as well. Same thing with Gigi Dolan. I know Gigi Dolan has some pretty devoted collectors for obvious reasons here. So I know there'll be the big names here. Tommaso Ciampa as well, even though he wasn't really a big mover in the WWE card market. I feel like for me personally, I had some Ciampa stuff and they moved unexpectedly. I think obviously because of the AEW run that he's having so far. So maybe that's a name to keep an eye out for. I know Shotzi as well. I know she's also doing some things over on Whatnot. So I don't know if that maybe helps a little bit. I know she's also doing some things with GCW and all that. So I don't know if that also translates to her card market.
Did you?
I think those were.
Did you see that? Did you see the photo render they used for Shotzi?
No, I didn't see it.
It's her old photo, like where she had her spiky hair. Like that's how.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh damn! They went that back.
They went that back. Yeah.
Yeah. She's doing well on Whatnot.
Yeah.
So like very well from what I haven't tuned in. But I was in a break.
I tuned in one time. I was like, I need to see what this is all about, and I saw her auction off a sock, and yeah, people were paying some ridiculous amount of money.
Is it PG-13 related?
Yeah, from the one I saw, yeah, it was all right. I mean, she sold her sock, and then I think she sold. Ah, man, what was it she sold last time? I think she sold like a wrestling top that she wore one time, and that did like crazy numbers. I was like, all right, I can see the clientele here. Then
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I didn't see her. I haven't seen any cards pull over yet, but yeah, I was like, I saw the name in here. I was like, I'm pretty sure there'll be some people chasing some Shotzi cards potentially.
Shotzi.
I know she does some good stuff with GCW as well. I don't think she's signed anywhere officially. I know she just does like a bunch of like indie stuff and stuff like that. Kind of like a Matt Cardona-esque. I think it's obviously when she was doing her stuff with Matt Cardona. I know some names I think that kind of shocked waves a little bit. I had to like triple read the checklist to make sure that I wasn't going crazy and make sure my eyes weren't deceiving me. I know my eyes are going bad, but I was like, I know they're not that bad. Reading Rob Gronkowski, I was like the third card on the checklist. That's pretty insane. I was like, did I read that right? Like Rob Gronkowski has cards in here along with Mike Tyson, Shaq, Pete Rose. I think he was the gobbledygoober, right? Didn't he eat a tombstone from Kane?
At one point, he was the gobbledygooker. I don't think he was the gobbledygooker when he debuted, but at one point,
that's when Kane
tombstoned him. So
Hopefully the render of him is eating a tombstone from Kane. I think that'd be kind of sick.
Yeah.
Floyd Money Mayweather and Jason Kelsey are your celebrities. Right? I know Topps put out some promos of those cards itself. I'll throw it over to you, Babyface. When you see these old names and then you see these celebrity names, what are your thoughts here on the checklist? Again, we kind of knew it's very outdated, so we kind of did know, wrestling moves very quick. There's going to be names coming in and out, of course. But seeing all those old names kind of shows how very much outdated this was, and also seeing those celebrity names as well. I know you put out a video too as well, kind of showcasing that celebrities might be a little bit of a sneaky play here. So I'll throw it over to you. What's your thoughts on the old names? And then, of course, the celebrities as well on being a potential sneaky play here.
Yeah, the old names hurt. I mean, it only brings the value of the cards down. It's unfortunate. We do have a couple of good sellers like Cora, like Gigi, like Karrion Kross. He'll sell no problem. It's just those really outdated older guys from like NXT and stuff that are just basically worthless. That really does suck, and it just shows the time that they spent just sitting there in a warehouse doing nothing, and that hurts a little bit. But on the other end, I think the celebrities, although they don't have autos, which would have been incredible, it still brings a couple of people over from maybe Philadelphia Eagles fans, maybe Patriots fans that do collect Gronk. At least they're big celebrity names. Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. You can't be upset with a numbered Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather card. Those are timeless. Pete Rose, wild name. And it's a wild name, but it is a cool card. I'll definitely, if I hold the Pete Rose card, I'll save it forever because I think that's just really cool. Yeah, I think it's just going to bring over a couple other people just to get into breaks, and maybe they do join wrestling because these are huge, huge sports names. So I can't be upset with that.
Yeah, the Pete Rose is an interesting one because I don't even know. Like, did they make top MLB cards of him anymore?
I was about to ask you that, Rob. I was like,
Yeah.
does Pete Rose have baseball cards like top series? Like he's not in series 1, and he's not in any other.
Though, right?
No, he's not even in the Hall of Fame now.
Yeah, dude died, and they're like, you know what? Let's put him in everything now. He's dead. I'm like, Jesus, come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a wild take on who to put in a thing, but listen, there are Pete Rose collectors, diehard Pete Rose collectors. So, I mean, this is definitely if you're a diehard Pete Rose collector, why not hop in a break and try to grab him? So
this could be his only ever WWE card that we know of. I mean, so if you want to change that, I mean,
and realistically, while I was doing this checklist, I was having a meeting with my team at ASB. We wanted to bundle them, and they were sold on the fact that, hey, these people want these people. So in our breaks, they're all separate spots, and they are selling. So it is very interesting to see them sell before names like Alexa Bliss and stuff like that. You know, they are cheaper spots, obviously, but it is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the way I see these cards too is kind of like the way if you collect baseball, it's kind of like the first pitch card. They'll have like certain celebrities who throw out the first pitch, and they'll have them now in top cards. Some of them do come with autos, but obviously in this case there's no autos. But yeah, I mean a lot of these. It's crazy to see. I know when the checklist came out, and I think Nick, when you texted me, you're like, dude, this is like really outdated. And I saw the names. I was like, man, I was like, yeah, this is pretty outdated. The only thing that scares me is like, especially when it's outdated and some of them have autos, that's what scares me, especially like if you're buying just the one Percy for yourself, like you run that risk of pulling that being your auto. Like as I was looking at the auto checklist, like Eddie Thorpe signs in this, and so does Wesley. So like if you're not fans of those guys, Wesley obviously is what's his name in AEW? Desmond something.
Yeah, he's not terrible.
Part of the Rascals.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad.
Things, so.
But Eddie Thorpe is nowhere to be heard from. I don't know where he's at, what he's doing. Yeah, that would be a tough auto to pull if that's the auto that you pull for your box. And no disrespect to Eddie Thorpe for you out there, but you know, you just So
that's an auto you throw on eBay for $2. No disrespect to Eddie Thorpe. Pretty sure good wrestler, but yeah.
Just didn't work out.
Sorry, bud. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. It's just, and again, just like going over like I was mentioning, like the base checklist, like for autos, like it's kind of has like some rough names in there, like you're looking like Adam Pearce, Ava, who's actually no longer with the company now too, Brooks Jensen, the Bushwhackers, Who else is in here?
Oh, I can't disrespect the Bushwhackers, man. What the?
I mean, they're iconic, but I mean, if that's my auto, I will not be a happy camper.
You dare say Michael Cole either? Don't you
Yeah.
dare say Michael
No,
Cole.
I won't disrespect. I won't disrespect Michael Cole. But we got like Malik Blade, Oro Mensa, also now with the company. Rich Holland now with the company.
Yeah.
Shotzi surprisingly signs now that I'm looking at this. So there you go with that.
So does Gigi, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Which is,
she does.
that shows how outdated this really is. It's crazy.
Yeah. So not a lot of big star names in just your base checklist. Like I said, I was looking at it. Like a lot of the bigger names are in your either your single sets like Triple H, The Rock, John Cena, or they're in the relics or the tag team inserts or that. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the rates are for the relics getting pulled. So we'll see.
Yeah, because as we talk about some of these older names here in this checklist, I was thinking about like, man, like I wonder what goes through like the behind the scenes as far as of like releasing sets, because Finest wasn't really that outdated, and obviously it came way before Universe. Because some names that I noticed here that were missing, maybe I'm a little bit more biased because I do like to buy them in PC. Them obviously Ren Sinclair from NXT. I know she's been kind of making a little bit more rounds there down at NXT. Kendall Gray, who had rookie cards there, and Todd's Finest. Granted, only that one rarity. For her not being the set, I don't know. Like the configuration doesn't really make any sense as far as that. El Grande Americano, I know Chad Gable and Ludwig had cards, but there's no El Grande Americano cards. El Grande Americano had cards in Topps Finest, so that kind of also doesn't make any sense to me as well. I know a lot of people don't like her online, but I think there are names that do sell. Nikki Bella had cards in Topps Finest, no cards in Topps Universe. And if you want to throw B Bella into that as well, you can kind of put the Bella twins in there. Still the absence of Logan Paul. I think that is something to call out as well, especially when you have celebrities like Mike Tyson, like Floyd. And it's still, they have that. We always had that promo that he had released for Topps Finance that was nowhere to be found. He does have his Topps Now rookie card, which to me is still kind of crazy how they have that, but no other card here. I kind of went on the limb as well. Like the fact they have celebrities joining this checklist, maybe a Bad Bunny card, like that would have gone a little crazy. Again, I don't know how that would have gone. Obviously, there's a lot of behind the scenes that kind of goes into that. But a Bad Bunny card would have kind of been crazy, especially when you're doing celebrities. Another big name as well missing is Blake Monroe. I know she's already been confirmed for 2026 Topps Chrome, as she was signing her Future Stars autograph, but she's still going to be missing the set. AJ Lee as well is also still missing. There's some little other names that are down at NXT. I know people have been kind of talking about Lainey Reed a little bit. But yeah, those are some missed opportunities that I thought from the overall checklist. Because again, the configuration as far as of being released from compared to Finest is a little bit awkward. It's a little bit weird if I'm being completely honest, as far as of like how Finest came out before Universe. Maybe it's the relics. I'm assuming it's the relics. I don't know if Babyface, you have any insight on that. I'm assuming it's the relics because again, these are all on card odds from my understanding as well. So maybe there was an issue with the relics being put into cards, gaining those access. I really don't know. I'm not sure if you guys had any missed opportunities here as far as the checklist, but those are some of the names, in my opinion, that came out here as far as on my end.
No, I think it's a pretty good list. As far as why they didn't put it out, I'm really not sure. That awkward timing after Mania, where we got nothing for like 6 months, which it was wild. So maybe they tried to, because I'm pretty sure this was supposed to come out in June or something like that. Right, somewhere around there.
Somewhere along the lines, yeah.
I would think so. Yeah.
So could it have been the relics? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I don't know how hard it is to produce something like that. I'm just really lost on why they didn't release this. This would have hit way harder after Mania season for sure. Still going to be really good, but just timing is everything. You know that with literally everything. So
yeah, no, and I agree 100% there. But now let's head into, of course, last time we had you on, we had who were buying, who were keeping an eye out for, and potentially who we're staying away from. Let's start off with who we're buying. I'll throw it over to you first, Rob. I know you kind of we all have our PCs. We have our our Bray Wyatts. I know Babyface, you're known as the Dirty Dom collector now. I guess like we can say that now, the Dirty Dom super collector. I know you're on that status now. So I'll throw that title on you officially. So if you're listening to this,
thank you.
If you go on Fanatics Live and try to buy a Dirty Dom spot, I'm pretty sure it's been souped up. So good luck with that. But I'll throw it over to first to you, Rob. Who are you buying that's maybe not particularly in the PC? If you want to, of course, throw out the name that you're buying for your PC as well. But who are you particularly you buying here as we head into breaks here officially on Friday?
Yeah, for the PC, I'm chasing the white 6 members, so definitely picked up a couple of leftover spots that I was able to find when I was digging through them. This was pretty cool because as I was really digging it, I didn't realize that Uncle Howdy actually had 2 case hits. He's on the WWE, I think now, and then the mask. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then there's a Joe Gacy possibility for autos, and the other remaining members just have their regular base cards. But then, of course, then the other PC that I've been slowly but starting is Lyra Valkyria. I think I've said it like numerous times that even though regardless of what the internet says, I still think she's poised for a big 2026. So not going to give up on her push just yet. So I'm looking for Lyra Valkyria spots. For spots that I thought had some pretty good value that I think are going to be big chases. The first 2, Ethan Page and Trick Williams. I think Ethan Page has been killing it down in NXT. I think with his North American title reign ending last night, I think it was like the 3rd longest or somewhere close to one of the longest reigns. And then he also has that big chase card where he wrote that inscription where to leave him alone at the airport, and this is your 1-of-1 card. So I think that's going to be a big chase. And then, like you said, Nick, Trick Williams and his lemon pepper steppers. I mean, the dude's been killing it lately, and it's just every time he talks, like I have to tell everybody now. I'm like, can y'all just keep it down a little bit? I gotta hear the man. Gotta hear the man talk. He's hilarious, man. And I think it's cool. I always like watching like. I try to watch NXT as much as I can every now and then. If I don't watch it live, I'll try to catch a replay. And it's just pretty cool to finally see like these guys that I've been watching down at NXT now coming up to the main roster. And they always scare me because some guys hit and some don't. And Trick is one of those guys that has caught on like real fast. And so I'm really happy for him. I think his stuff is probably going to go up here. I mean, even like when you're his finest and Cactus stuff is that I mean, back in like months ago, you could find some of his autos for like $20. Now they're hovering like around $40. So I think it's going to be a little price increase in that too. And then one that I actually saw that has some pretty good value. Bailey has a lot of cards in this set. She has an auto. She actually has 2 relics as well, and she has a couple of inserts. And I think some of the breakers had her for like $25. So I mean, you really can't beat that for somebody as Bailey's status. So those are going to be my 3 picks of people to keep an eye on.
Babyface minus from Dirty Dom. Anybody else that you're keeping an eye out here as far as of who you're buying? And maybe you should probably maybe say like you're not even buying Dirty Dom. Maybe you should tell everybody like, hey guys, like don't even buy his cards. Like I'm not even gonna be like don't even buy you Dirty Dom cards.
Yeah, I don't even know that guy, but so I like Kiana James in this set because she signs, and I think that's a good value pick. But I really learned a lot from some of these sports guys here, and I'm gonna start making bigger plays on the GOATs, and I'm gonna go with like the Stone Colds, the Romans, the Rheas, and I'm just gonna wait maybe like once a week instead of just putting those $30-$40 spots and really getting nothing back. Just take a risk on a GOAT on a break and see where that goes. And that's how the PC is really shaping up now. I have my core 4, which is Roxanne, Dirty Dom, Cena, and Fatu. But I'm going to really try to get cards like that are just timeless. So any GOATs that I'm feeling for the day, if I get a good deal on them, I'll probably snag them up. But Dirty Dom's number 1 in my heart, and that's who 90% of the breaks I'm going to be in. It's going for him. So.
How do we just like off the tangent? How do we feel about like Roman's card? I think I saw a post on Instagram saying he has like the most cards out of everybody in this set. So like, man, I wonder how it's gonna be curious to see how many Roman Reigns hits. So.
Yeah, Roman Reigns has the most cards, and Rhea has the most.
I think Rhea too, right?
Yeah, she has 11 different cards in the set. Which I mean, like some of the I think Rhea is only going for like 150 in my break. And I mean, the value there, you pull 1 auto, you're already there.
Yeah.
You know, and you just have so much of a higher opportunity. I just saw that blaster break. Somebody hit out of 2 out of 25 Romans. I mean, right there, you're super paid at that point. So, and just chasing that 1-of-1, which is the product hit, it's going to be the most expensive card we've seen come out on the market, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was like, I think it's a lot of your bigger names here that have like 11 cards or like something crazy like that, like 11 style different cards. Like even looking at for like my personal PC CM Punk, he has base cards 1, He has the base cards event variation. He has ring leaders. He has Star Portal. He has Rage insert, name stakes, remarkable returns, which I'm assuming is the return as a virus here. I'm pretty sure that's a pretty big card. You have case hit, WWE now. You have superstar relic signatures, and then you have the triple superstar relic with that's gonna go crazy. And then you have the WWE authentic. So that's already 11 cards already right there. And I think I was like looking at, I was going through spots all day today. Like his spot wasn't as crazy. It's like around like 60 to 90 bucks, depending on who you're buying or where they got the product from, which I was like, man, for CM Punk, that's a little bit crazy. So I was like, kind of keep an eye out there a little bit for that. But I'm always looking in for the people who are kind of like you mentioned here. While I think you're always going to have your money made with superstars like your Cenas, your Rocks, your Stone Colds, things like that. I always like looking for the little small plays, the ones that maybe eventually you could buy for small and hit kind of big, or maybe hit small and then kind of maybe eventually those cards do turn into a little bit of something. Kiana James was one of them. She only has the base one style card and the universe autograph, which of course her being involved in the Elimination Chamber, her card stuff was already moving up. It's funny. I went to a card show this past Saturday and there was like 2 or 3 people looking for Kiana James cards, which is ironically enough the day before. So I was like, yep, there you go. And I know some people in some Facebook groups were looking for someone for flawless stuff already. So maybe Kiana James is one of the names there you want to keep an eye out for. As far
She
as
does
that,
not have much out there, right? If I'm not mistaken.
no, just the base card and the universe autograph. So no relic, unfortunately, which I think is going to be the pretty big play because this is obviously the first time we're seeing relics hit the Topps license this year as far as regaining the license back. And I know everybody loves, and I know flawless still moves, NTs, all that stuff. I know people love those sets. But there's actually event worn, superstar worn, none of this t-shirts, and a bunch of warehouses cut them up and put them on a card there. So so if you want to feel closer to the card, I do think the relics are going to be what makes this set, which is why I'm a pretty big fan of the tag team relics. I think those are going to be some of the big money movers. I will say though, if you are looking to buy into breaks, make sure you do find breakers, and or maybe if you don't, try to group them up together, because you don't want to hit one card for somebody individually and somebody who has the other spot, and however the breakers run those channels, if they do it like a randomizer, a wheel spin, you do not want to hit a big card and lose it onto the other spot. So if you are going for tag teams, I would say the play here would be to buy both of them. Even if you collect one of them, try to buy both of those superstars so you can make sure you have your better chance here of getting those cards. So that kind of circles back here to why I'm targeting Pretty Deadly, Kit Wilson, and Elton Prince. I don't mind Elton Prince, but I'm not really particularly chasing his stuff here. But Kit Wilson has base one and obviously part of the tag team relic autographs. I know we briefly talked about him being gone, but Ciampa, DIY. I left your comment on your post there. DIY. This is the set that has the relics where they won the tag team titles and have that inscription. So I think that's a pretty big chase.
Okay.
Yeah, and their spots are been combined are like $20. So I mean, $20, and you can kind of get that, have that value. That's pretty good. And like specifically Johnny Gargano, he has it together insert, which that's a case hit. There is the tag team relic, and then Johnny Gargano itself has ringside relics by himself. So if you're getting both of them for $20, that's a pretty good deal. Same thing with Ciampa, he has the base too. So I mean, those are, in my opinion, some of the plays here that I'm making. So a lot of the tag team. I know the Usos also have a pretty cool tag team insert as well. So those are some of the big names here. As far as who I bought in so far, Rob, you kind of took my idea here. Ethan Page, that is a guy that I'm chasing, particularly in the set. Like he just dropped the title to the North American. I do think his call is coming soon. If it's post-Mania, I don't think they'll call him up before heading to Mania. I think that'd be kind of crazy work. But he has a lot of cards in here. He has base 2 card, or the base 2. I'm assuming that's like the kind of like the rarities. Star Portal, Universe Autograph, Title Mark, Relic Autographs, and Universe Relics. So he does have quite a bit in here as well. Along with Trick Williams, he has the same amount of cards in here as well. So I do think those are going to be the main plays, at least for me. I do think a lot of this set, kind of what we talked about here, is a lot of NXT driven. I think that NXT, I was a little bit disappointed, but I feel like we should have had a little bit more names down at NXT, especially when you have like a NXT dedicated, a next level type set here. But when you have guys like Noam Dar, Luca Crucifino, like that kind of hurts. It kind of hurts a little bit. I was kind of hoping JC Jane too would have had more cards in here. I know she's been kind of making some waves as well. I know she just beat Soruka last night. With Soruka too. Soruka, that's what I'm saying. It's weird. Like Soruka only has 1 card, if I'm not mistaken. I think she only has the event autographs, or like some style of autographs. They had no base cards, no nothing. So it's kind of crazy there for the I know some people have been obviously trying to collect and buy more Soul Ruka cards for obvious reasons. But yeah, those were some of the things here that I saw, which actually circles back to a name that I'm kind of staying away from in this set here. I know just because,
Ooh,
again, it's
I
just
guess
an
I'm answer.
autograph. That's the name here. That's why I mentioned her. 'Cause that's the name that I'm staying away from. Again, I know she's very popular. She's been getting a main push down to NXT. Obviously, WWE has very high hopes for her. She's beating Bailey on main PLE. She was the last final 3 in the Women's Royal Rumble. So obviously, WWE does have some high hopes for her as far as it being the next stage, maybe the next Tiffy, maybe in that aspect. But the fact that she only has one card and you're spending like $60, I think from what I've seen, her spots have been going for anywhere from like $60 to $90, depending on the breaker. I think that's a little bit rough, hoping for an autograph potentially. So yeah, that's the name that I will be staying away from. You could take that $60 and kind of like you mentioned there, Nick, throw that into a timeless superstar like a Roman Reigns, like a Cena, like a Rock, or maybe heck, if you want to go buy 3 to 4 spots like a DIY Ethan Page, you could definitely do that. So as far as who I'm staying away from, me personally, I am staying away from Soul Ruka. Babyface, who you got? Who you seeing on there? Maybe it's a big name, or maybe you're just seeing a name that's been making some trickle effects down from what you're hearing. But you're like, yeah, I particularly wouldn't be buying that superstar.
Yeah, you took the name right out of my mouth. It's Sol Ruka. I'm not staying away from her because I'm beating her on Friday. So
oh, there you go.
Super pumped. And really weird about that is that, like you said, all the accolades. She was the first person to sell out meet and greets, and she was the cheapest meet and greet, $30, which is unbelievable. I just don't understand. It was her, and I can't even remember the other dude's name. Javon Evans was a step above her, which was crazy. Oh, it was I think it was Dragon Lee or something like that, or no, Ray Phoenix. It was Ray Phoenix. And so Ruka sold out immediately. And like you said, I saw that in the checklist, and other people have let me know too because they're big Sol Ruka fans. I actually asked them, are they going to buy her in my break? And they're like, no, dude, she literally has nothing in the set. Didn't stop me from buying every single Dom in Finest because he literally only had one base card and one auto, but I mean, worked out for me. So, yeah, it's Sol Ruka. I mean, it's really a shame. We just got to wait for her better cards, like Royalty. But yeah, I would stay away from her in Universe 100%.
Yeah, I'm kind of I didn't have Sol Ruka on my list, but another person that has gained popularity and only has one auto card and I think one base is Javon Evans. Like it's just kind of crazy to think that that's all they got. Some other names that I put like kind of not really staying away from breakwise is just because all they have is just base and they don't have autos in the sets when they have autos like in Cactus Jacks. And just to name off a couple, Julia, Zarya, Jordan Grace, Ricky Saints, and Penta. Like all they have are just base cards, nothing else. Which I thought was pretty crazy, but I guess you can just tell by the timing of it, like it was probably maybe supposed to come out a long time ago. So if you're chasing these people's autos, you're gonna have to look to like Cactus Jack. I actually don't think any of these people sign in Finest, if I'm not mistaken, either.
Nope, same exact list. Yeah.
Yeah. So So if you're chasing autos for these people, you got to go to Cactus Jack. So those are the people that I'm staying away. Those are kind of just like if I want to collect them, just probably buy like base cards on eBay or something like that, or some numbered cards. But those are just they're big popular names, and it's crazy to see like they don't sign when they could have easily had autos. So, but
that brings up a huge point to where they're signing in Cactus that was released at Mania. I just thought about that. Like, I'm
like that's what.
That makes zero sense. That's crazy, actually.
Yeah, that's about when I was going over it and kind of like the point I was making back, like why like Kendall Gray has cards in Finest, which I would assume maybe came into circulation or maybe came together a lot later than Universe, and then now doesn't have any existence of a card, or like again maybe biased because I do collector Ren Sinclair, who's been down with NXT for a couple of years now. She's not like somebody new. Does have like no cards in Universe, and she has cards in Finest. I know Julia brought up. I saw Julia for $15 on a break. I was like, $15 for Julia, and I quickly ran to the checklist and went to go see like, dude, oh yeah, all she has is base cards. I know some people kind of don't like Julia and kind of disrespect Julia just a little bit. Obviously, her her creative run has not been the best over on SmackDown, which again, not to her fault. But yeah, kind of some crazy stuff as far as of that. But yeah, it kind of just shows how the configuration of the set is a little bit weird. It's a little bit odd, but I do think here it's going to be a very fun set. Like we've talked about, we haven't had anything to rip for the last later half of the year. So I do think it's going to be very, very exciting here. As far as of just like final thoughts here on the set, I'll throw it over to you, Babyface, because I know you're kind of more on the ins and outs. You kind of see more of the back end. You kind of see what's moving, what's not moving. How do you think this set is going to translate? I have my answer, so I'll kind of save on my thought here as far as of how it's going to translate both single wise. But how do you think it's going to translate both singles wise, product wise, sealed wax wise? Do you think we're seeing these 2X hobby boxes right off rip just because we haven't seen anything? Do you think we're kind of staying in the medium range where it's nothing too crazy? To me, from what I'm seeing, looks like breaks have been filling up pretty quickly. But what do you think is going to be the main effector? Do you think we see this set taking off very quickly? Do you think it kind of just sputters a little bit, kind of like we saw with Cactus Jack a little bit? What are your thoughts here as we are going to be soon to be wrapping up this set here as far as the predictions here? What do you guys think is going to be the main stage here for this set?
I think it's going to mirror Finest to a T. I think it's an exact replica of Finest with timing, with literally everything, with price point, with 2 autos, with just so many inserts and stuff like that. I think it's just going to mirror that. I said it many times, timing is everything, especially on the business side of it. They could have literally put out me one-of-one sketches of WWE superstars and it would have filled up the same exact way. I don't think it's going to be a premier product. I think it's going to be super forgettable, just like Finest is. It's going to be a fun rip. It's just basically a time filler for us right now. With it being a little outdated, I don't think it's going to hold. I think the breaks are going to be they're going to die out a little faster than Finest did because we really just had nothing. At least that set was super new and likable. Overall, I think it's going to be a decent B-. I'd give that my early grade. I'll probably love it the first 2 weeks, and then it'll go down just like every other set, honestly. So I think it's just going to mirror Finest in its exact way.
Rob, what do you got here on Universe? Any final thoughts here on Universe? What do you think? How do you think this set plays out in short term and both long term?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be popular just right off the bat, just because like we've all talked about how we've had little to nothing to rip in these past couple of months. And then even just like today, as like more and more breaks are being popped up, as I guess now we finally got our checklist, and I'm pretty sure breakers are getting their inventory of what they're getting and stuff like that. You're seeing how fast like they fill up. Like I think I even sent it to you. Like I sent you some earlier, and I'm like, dude, this was like filled up like halfway through the day, and then as I was later checking the night, like there's like maybe like 10 to 15 spots left. So people are obviously buying, but people are hungry to get wrestling cards. So I think like how Nick mentioned too, it's going to be hot for the first couple of weeks, maybe a month. But I mean, just right off the back, this upcoming next Tuesday, we got Exalted pre-orders that are going to come up. So I think once we got that going, and I think that one's going to be obviously a little bit more of the higher end product. And so I think quickly as that's going to come, I think this is probably also quickly going to die, and the hype will kind of go away. And I think also too, I don't think this was meant to be like a high value product. I think this is like I always, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like this is like the flagship of like Topps baseball to me. It's a good entry point into the way to, like especially if like kids, if you want to get your kids involved with it, it's a low entry point. Blasters for $25 on the Topps website. Hopefully we're able to find that like at Target, Walmart, GameStop for those prices. So that's what I'm really hoping for. So yeah, I think if you're new to cards, I think this is like a great way to kickstart your collection, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to finally get these in hand, and get it ripped, and yeah, I'm excited. So
Yeah, I agree to kind of echo everything here. I don't think this is going to be your star player as far as of a set wise. I think it's a good set. Again, I think the old names do kind of hurt it a little bit. So that opportunity or the potential of pulling an old name auto, if they do have auto, I think that does hurt the configuration of it long term. But yeah, I think it's a very good entry point. If we're gonna give out letter grades here, I would give like a B, B minus, B plus. Maybe I'll change with cards in hand and seeing how these cards look. Based on what I'm seeing here, I've seen a lot more relics in person, or not in person, but like online. They do look good. So I think the relics again are going to be the main driver of this set. And like hopefully this is not the last and final time here that we have to go between months of talking sets, like you just mentioned here. Exalted has pre-orders next Tuesday, so hopefully that set doesn't have any future delays. I know that set was being signed for like months now. I know that set's going to be very interesting as well. That's the set that has the first day issue, which those are going to hit Dutch auctions. So it's kind of going to see how that translates. But yeah, I agree. I think it's a good entry point. So if you're looking for, I think, a reasonable rip, I'm not paying $300+ for a hobby box. I think this is a 200 to 250 at the most style hobby box at the most. Blasters, I'm not paying more than 40 bucks in my opinion. I know we saw Topps Chrome blasters. I think now are like pushing, of course, 100. Mega boxers are like 250. Hobbies for 650. Absolutely freaking insane for those prices. So please do not pay for those prices. And please, I was seeing on eBay and I was like, dude, I had to double check my eyes. People are paying $12 for a blaster pack. Please do not pay $12 to $15 for a blaster pack. Please do not do that. There's smart ways to get your fix, and you're gonna have it here, like we've talked about. There's a 300 card base set, and from what I've seen, things have been going in and out on both like Amazon, Fanatics, eBay as well, not eBay, WWE Shop. So that tells me that they have the product in hand. So if you're one of those people who don't like to go online and buy your boxes or buy into breaks online, these products should be at your shelves, at your local retailers, or hopefully your local hobby stores if they carry wrestling cards. So this product should be out there. I think the set will be printed quite a bit. And I don't want to say a shelf shitter, a self sitter. But if you're going to a Target store and you want to buy a blaster box, it should be there. Hopefully, I don't think this product should be again 2x, 3x prices. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun set. I'm gonna be curious to see how the rest of these breaks go. I was looking on X here, seeing some relics here of some sign. Like I saw like a Liv one, Randy Orton looks cool, Tiffy looks cool. So yeah, again, I think the relics here are going to be the main drivers. But yeah, that's Top Universe. Don't think I missed anything as far as of everything here. I think we covered pretty much almost all of our bases here on Topps Universe. Again, very fun set. Very excited to see how these cards look in hand. Again, guys, don't not forget to check out Babyface Breaks over from ASB. Those links are going to be down in the description down below. Those show links are going to be directly in there. So if you just click on the link, it's going to take you to the show. And again, if you're trying to bundle up those superstars, feel free to shoot him a message. I'm pretty sure he's going to work with you. So feel free to shoot him a message over on there. Make sure to go follow his Instagram as well. All the links are going to be down in the description down below. I know you mentioned there you'll be at Chamber. You're going to be meeting Ruka. You'll be at WrestleMania. So you're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. I know you're also going to be at Fanatics Fest. Correct me if I'm right, with Card Hogs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So you're going to be doing a lot of in-person events, bringing some good things for the wrestling card hobby and in person. So if you guys are not yet following, what the hell are you doing? Make sure you go follow him over on Instagram. Of course, Robbie here will have all of his social links down in the description down below. Instagram, Twitter, eBay store will all be down on there. I'm pretty sure those Universe singles will be hitting eBay very quickly as he's trying to we're looking to get those eBay singles.
All them dupe Lyra bases are hitting baby.
So make sure you do follow all of us there. Of course, all of my social links are going to be down in the description down below. I'm going to do my best to keep up with this set. It looks like all of these cards are hitting online like crazy. So I will do my best to keep up to date with you guys, and maybe Babyface, maybe we can come up with something together. We can work with something to kind of get this content out to everybody here. But yeah, guys, that is going to be our preview pod. It is finally here. It feels good to finally say it. Topps Universe is officially here. Good luck if you are joining these breaks here. Hopefully you guys took up some information here, and hopefully you take that to your breaks and to your rips. And if you are ripping Topps Universe, good luck. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. And if you guys are following on Spotify and Apple, make sure you do leave a rating and follow for more. But yeah, guys, this is our Topps Universe pod. Appreciate y'all for listening and watching, and we will see y'all in the next one.